Good morning to one and all present here. This is Pawan from BALLB along with my teammate Varshashri here to present on the topic Introduction of GDP. In this video, I'm here to say about the definition of GDP, methods of GDP, types of GDP, effects of inflation, GDP versus GNP, and so on. National output is the total market value of all final goods and services produced and sold during a period. During the calculation of GDP, intermediate goods or intermediate consumption is removed in the part of final goods and services as for elimination of double counting error. So, national output is the aggregate of output of different sectors. Now let's move to the calculation of GDP. Basically, there are three types of calculation that are production method, income method, expenditure method. Now, let's see expenditure method at first. It is the expenditure of five groups that are consumption expenditure. It is a private expenditure on household. Government expenditure. It concerns about developing of people's welfare. Investment expenditure. It's about business spending in productive process. Net exports. Secondly, let's get into the concept of income method about the amount paid to the factor of production and it is repaid in dividend, interest, wage, royalty, etc. Thirdly, national income is measured as a flow of goods and services. We calculate money value of all goods and final goods and services produced in an economy during a year. Final goods here refer to those goods which are directly consumed, not used in further production process. Basically, there are two types of GDP, real and nominal GDP. Nominal GDP is the measurement of GDP in current price and where no adjustment is made. Nominal GDP measures the annual production of goods and services at the current price. Real GDP is adjusted during inflation and calculated using constant, unchanging price converted to base year. Real GDP measures the yearly production of goods and services calculated at the actual cost without considering the effect of inflation. It removes the effects of inflation to calculate real growth. Increase in output leads to increase in economic value. In effect of inflation, the nominal GDP is where same goods produced in higher price in real GDP. No effect of inflation removed. Nominal GDP is calculated by nominal GDP per capita, which is equal to nominal GDP by population of the nation, while real GDP is calculated by real GDP is equal to nominal GDP by GDP deflator. In GDP and GNP, the GDP is measured all production of foreign and Indian within Indian border. Monetary value of all production in domestic territory. In GNP, the monetary value of domestic production of all worldwide. So, GNP is equal to GDP minus foreign investment in India plus Indian investment overseas. But strength of the GDP is measured by GDP, not GNP. Economic growth of demand versus supply. Economic growth is not just only in supply side. Demand is also essential in economic growth. In Keynesian theory, it is stated that fiscal and monetary policy are created to sustain development in government job. According to law of supply and demand, actual output falls short of potential output when demand falters. Due to natural calamities and epidemics, some downturns which happened during the economic growth are Great Depression in USA in 1930s, where output declined by 30%. During the times of economic distress, people tend to save more and spend less. start to hold investment, lower production, layoffs, lower income, lower consumption, and goes on. Despite the capacity, actual output falls due to shortfall in demand. Price mechanism didn't adjust quickly. The fuel for economic growth are labor, which has widened base or long working hours, capital, which can enhance capacity of production through investment. Efficiency means more output from same labor. Capital, which is organizational innovation leading to total factor productivity. Expenditure, consumption includes housing expenses. Investment includes business and household in capital assets creation. Government including expenses on final expenditure such as defense purchase and etc. And thank you for this wonderful opportunity.